the highest level. Well, good evening and welcome to the Arbor Hills Nature Preserve in Plano, Texas. Tonight's exercise is a field test of the FENIX LR35R Pro. I do want to thank Fenix Lighting for sending me this light and making the review possible. I'll move the box out of the way so I have a little bit of room. This light's got some weight to it. It's got some serious heft. So the first thing I'll point out is that in preliminary testing, I found the holster here to be the most convenient way to carry the light. I've got a lot to cover out in the field tonight, so I'm going to make this as quick as possible. My personal belief is that the product is probably most useful for duty use and possibly advanced exploration. And tonight I'll be looking at the light mostly with exploration in mind. It does have a very generous set of outputs, including white, spot, flood, and combined spot and flood, red, and UV. You've probably already seen or heard that the light has stepless ramping through this dial. What you may not have heard is that the stepless ramping applies to all the output modes, including red and UV. I found that to be particularly helpful with a lot of the work that I do using UV. I will point out that in terms of white output, you have access to strobe and SOS, but because of the way the UI works, there's nothing like direct to moonlight from on. There's no direct to turbo. Literally turbo, once the light is on, is just a quick move of the dial. I'm not going to say anything about the UI. You've seen this before, the central switch, the dial, which handles stepless ramping on, off, lock, and so forth. It works exactly the way it's documented. You have the usual half second and 1.2 second holds that you've seen in a lot of Fenix lights in the past. There are no real gotchas. Again, it works exactly the way as documented. And on the subject of documentation, I know you're not here to listen to me just read the user's manual to you. You want to see beam shots, you want to see field performance, and like I said, we've got a lot to go over. So it's time for me to shut up, get out there, and do my job. This is a very interesting area. I have the flood on in its lowest output level. There's a very irregular tree line in the distance. I'd say average distance to the edge is going to be around 65 yards. I'm just going to keep ramping the illumination up. Over 70 yards to get back into the pockets in the furthest part of the tree line. And there we are at the turbo output. As you might expect, very generous field of view. So here's one example of how I might use this light. It's a very bright night tonight. We have low clouds, and so all the light from the surrounding city reflects off of those, and it's like having some sort of super full moon out. As you can see, my headlamp is in red. This is the area that I'm interested in, so I'm just going to barely turn the spot up. What I'm doing is looking out over an area that over the course of many months, I've determined that from here back out of the observation tower is a territory that's controlled by 3 mountain lions. So I'm just kind of looking for ice shine, but I get right out in here. Now I need to really bump up the illumination there. That might be a little too much, and so I really like this ability to adjust, especially when I'm trying to look through tree gaps. Now this, of course, is the spot, and one thing you'll notice looking right here, that's a very generous sized hot spot, and you have quite a bit of useful spill. So this is probably not the type of beam that you would expect from a pure thrower, but I can go up a little bit more there, then back down as I get closer. It's a very good beam though for just general exploration. Really allows me to take advantage of my peripheral vision. So there's another gap. I want to go up there, then through here. I'm still not up all the way, maybe 3/4, I don't know, it's hard to say. So there's a quick look at how I might use this for exploration, and it looks like my friendly neighborhood mountain lions are off relaxing somewhere. And turbo spot, again on a very bright night, and I can still make out a lot of detail in that far tree over 175 yards away. I'm going to go ahead and do a burn down test as well. Let this run for maybe 3 minutes or so. In preliminary testing, I filmed this exact same test for the SAR team, the private community. It was on a darker night, and this looked even more impressive. I've got my fingers up on the head area of the light. There is some significant heat there. I could only hold my fingers there for just a few seconds. I'm also starting to feel significant heat much further down the body of the light. Over a minute and a half, and we can definitely see some ramp down. I can now just barely make that far tree out. Heat is still significant in the head area, but I can keep my fingers on it for longer. Ah, there's a nice bit of breeze. Over 2 minutes now. As we're approaching 3, I can still barely make out the tree in the distance. So here is red in its lowest output level. I'm going to slowly ramp this up with the dial. keep going. And there we are at the highest level. That is red flashing in its lowest level. I wanted to show you that up close, and approximately 45 yards away. This is red flashing highest output level. I was standing almost right at the edge of that tree line. There's what it looks like from the other end. And here we are at Scorpion City in low UV. Ramp that up a bit. Yeah, there we go. There's the good one. So let me step back, and as I'm stepping back, now I've ramped all the way up into high, so I'm a good 5-6 yards away. I can easily pick him up. Get close, that's a bit too much, so let me ramp down. That's a little under halfway. Let's see, is anybody else out? Oh, look at that, a little baby one. Never seen that before. Ramp up a bit. Yeah, that's about all that's out tonight. Okay, we're back up to the highest level. And combined spot and flood, turbo output from the top of the observation tower, again on a very bright night. Now I do have a short that shows the same view on a darker night. Let me pause here and show you the field of view. Pan around to the right some more. Look down. And there you have it. All right, let's do a quick wrap up. We're in combined flood and spot, lowest output. Let me start ramping this up. Oh, I don't know if you saw the raccoon right there. I got about 20 seconds of footage. Yeah, see the eye shine? Go up a little bit more. I don't even think I'm halfway, and I can already back through here get over 55 yards line of sight. So let me work my way around here. Slightly darker area here. A little bit more line of sight. Yeah, right through there. Crank it all the way up. Check that out. Really impressive field of view. I'm going to take that down to what I think is about halfway. Of course, I'm not completely sure. Now, this is going to shut it down for tonight. I just wanted to do a quick overview since there are so many different output levels. I personally plan on filming at least one more field test, probably some sort of extended turbo burn down when we get further into the fall. If there's something else you'd like to see, I could probably crank out at least a couple, 3 more shorts and get you some more information. And on the subject of information, if you've got enough to make a decision, if that's great. If not, leave that comment. I'll see what I can do And that's it for me tonight. And as always, until the next review, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching the video.